Hello everybody. This lesson is all about texture and implied texture because you are going to be making a texture sandwich. So this is what mine looked like finished up, and I'm going to show you how to get there. So I'm going to move this aside. We'll come back to that after. And I just want to talk a minute about texture. Texture is how something feels, and implied texture is how something looks like it might feel. So it's something like if you were going to draw a picture of your dog and you wanted to show that your dog is furry, you would use some type of line to describe that fur. That would be implied texture. But let's go back to my texture sandwich, and you can see that this is texture because if you could touch it, I'm touching it right now, it has different textures. It has some soft and some bumpy and some lumpy kind of a texture to it. Some of my texture sandwich is implied texture. So look at the top of the bun. I just use certain types of lines to imply that those are seeds on top of the bun. So my texture sandwich has both implied and actual texture. All right, let's see how we start. The first thing you're going to do is there's going to be some tracers, and you are going to trace and cut out your top bun and your bottom bun. Now for my, hopefully I can do this quickly for this video. And there will be crayons or art sticks to add some additional color to the vegetables or buns or meat items that you're going to be making. So there's my top bun, bottom bun. If I want, I can add some implied texture by having, I don't know, I think there's sesame seeds that go on top. But I also have this really fun texture tool that you can use. And how it works is you put the paper in, you hold the handle firm, and then you just twist, and it gives a texture to it. So you can use that as well. You can do both. All right, so after you have your bun, and I'm going to use red paper just because I did not plan ahead and get a different color ready. So I have my top bun and my bottom bun ready. My bottom bun has disappeared. Oh, here it is. So I'm going to actually glue the bottom bun to my paper that I'm going to work on. I'm not going to glue the top bun. The top bun goes on last. So what I can begin to do is to see what is it that I want to add to my sandwich. And you can see that this paper here looks like lettuce, something like bacon or cheese. This looks like some type of cold cuts, tomatoes, olives. This is supposed to be mustard, and I'm going to show you another way you can do mustard. But you can see how I folded the paper, or I drew and cut out shapes to make my vegetables. So let's start with the meat. So let's say I want some type of cold cut on my sandwich. And this paper is it's too rectangle-ish. So I'm going to make like a big, well, you know when you go to the deli or go to Wegmans and they cut off some deli meat for you, it's usually in kind of like something round or ovalish. So there I have that. And I want it to have kind of a texture to it so it sticks out. So I press it down, and hello there, where's my glue? All right, so I hold it down and I'm going to put my glue here. Now the problem that you run into is that the glue doesn't dry in time. So I like to take either a paper clip or a clothespin and just hold that. So I'm not constructing my sandwich yet. So I'm going to set that aside. There's my salami. And now I want to make some bacon. And I have strips of paper like this. I took a crayon and I colored it kind of to remind you of bacon. And I could put it through this to kind of make it wavy, Or I could just take my pencil and kind of curve the bacon, and I can curve it in different directions, because you know how bacon gets after you've cooked it. It's got quite the texture to it. So I can do that. I'll show you what it looks like if I put it through my little texture machine. Hold it, and that gives a texture as well. So that's how you do bacon, if that's what you'd like to add to yours. Now if you're going to add tomatoes, what I did is I just took the red paper and I drew a tomato shape, and it kind of looks like a kind of a fat heart in a way. And then I colored the borders a little bit thicker, a little bit darker, made the center of the tomato, and these are all the tomato seeds. Now I could have probably used yellow, because I do know that they're kind of yellowish, but I just did it with red. You want to think about doing things in threes. 3 being an odd number always looks a little bit better in your picture. So how do I do cheese? One way to do cheese is I have this yellow triangle paper, and you just take the hole punch and you punch a bunch of holes, and it's nice when you go right on the edge so you don't get the full circle. So that is how you can make cheese. What else can I show you to make? Oh, olives. I think I made some olives. So you can take your paper and draw something kind of roundish, and then you would take a piece of red paper for the pimento, and then you would glue that down to make an olive. I'll set that aside, and you would take the you can take the tissue paper and crinkle it up, and then put glue on the paper and glue that down. Now I said there was another way to do mustard or ketchup. So one way was how I did in this picture, where I used yellow yarn to represent mustard, but I could also have taken this, put a little bit of glue here, and put that up. Oops, let me pull it down. Put that up at the top so it looks like it's getting squished out from under the bun. You could do that with ketchup and mustard. So I hope I've given you some ideas on how to get started, but know that you can do anything you want. You will probably have other ideas as you're building your sandwich. And just remember, the top bun goes on last. I can't wait to see what you create.